Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You're always scum. Rebel scum.
Boom.
Oh,
It's
Rebels. I thought I was going to. It's Rebel Scum Wednesday. This Thursday. I thought it was. I don't know what day it is anyway. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hi.
Hold on. You guys start the show. Brock, it's Brock. I'm James. And we're here with special guest executive producer Heidi. Well, I haven't even started drinking yet. It's still warm. I just bought it. You're supposed to drink it like room temperature. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Good God. You muted yourself again. Okay, cool. Glad we ran through this before we started.
I did that so you wouldn't have to hear me pour this drink into this. I'm pouring. Star Wars is crazy right now. Have you seen all the reports that are going on?
No, what's going on?
How do you know what's going on? Everything Star Wars is happening.
What?
Well, Bespin Bulletin is going to gain a bazillion subscribers. Heidi, why don't you fill everybody in on what you know, and then I can tell you that I like Qui-Gon Jinn. Oh, her mic's muted.
Yeah, you seem to be muted. Almost got it. There you go.
All right.
There we go.
I said Kathleen Kennedy was fired.
Ah!
Put it on the board.
KK has been shut down.
God, we really should have spent the money to make one of those LED boards or something like that.
Maybe we still can. I'm considering right now. Kathleen Kennedy's been fired, Brock. That's actual real news. You know what's going to be funny is one day she's not going to be the head of Lucasfilm, and we're not going to know what to do with ourselves. Like half of YouTube is going to melt away. It's like no one's going to know. Like, what do we talk about? KK getting fired, but that's not. There is actual other really big news that has been going on. Like, there are leaks and rumors, but people have spotted things on sets in California for The Mandalorian Season 3. So, Heidi, why don't you take that a little bit?
Well, I've seen pictures of Tamara Morrison in completely covered in like black spandex.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's shooting Couples Retreat 2.
Yeah. But actually, that might be an Obi-Wan rumor that he's been spotted.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong rumor. I'm sorry.
No worries.
No, he might be in there. There's Obi-Wan's coming in. Look, do you want to get right? Let's get right into Obi-Wan. Okay, there are Obi-Wan rumors swirling right now, and they have to do with flashbacks. But they weren't what I was thinking. These were not the flashbacks that I was anticipating hearing. These are so there's going to be 2 Obi-Wan and Vader fights in the show, right? That's what's been reported on. That's what we're expecting. But the flashback is Obi-Wan versus Anakin, and I guess it's a fight, like a lightsaber battle between the two of them. And rumor mill, what's going to happen is Obi-Wan's going to get his butt kicked in that first fight with them, right? Just like butt kicked in. He doesn't know what to do. He's lost. All hope is lost. Blah 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 blah. And then he's going to have a flashback. He's going to think back to a fight that he had with Anakin, and he's going to learn a few details with Anakin within that fight. And I thought that's kind of cool because that's actually technically giving us 3 fights with those two, and the deeper you get to go into their, like, I think it's a training fight, but the deeper you get to go into their history together, because I mean, we all want to see the Clone Wars stuff, that's fine, but them as like a friendship, a bond, is what I think would really enhance this story, and I kind of like that idea.
Sure. All I got from that was like there might be 3 lightsaber battles that have Darth Vader in it or Anakin Skywalker. Like, sure. I mean, cool. That sounds cool, but like, I don't know, man. Like, it's like until we see it in a trailer again, I don't really believe it. Cool. Yes.
I wouldn't put that in a trailer though. That's gotta be in the episode. That's gotta be
Or
like
you
an
know what I
episode
mean.
random. It's like randomly got to show up on like June 7th. You're like, whoa, we talked about that 2 months ago.
Yeah, like you make a good point. Like, does that sound awesome? Yeah, man. So it's like, but I don't feel like getting excited about it till I actually see it. And like, that's the thing. Like, you kind of want to see it just happen. So it's like, sure, cool. Yes.
Well, my understanding is that he's going to pretty much get his butt kicked, and then all of a sudden he's going to hear Qui-Gon. And that's going to give him the power to overcome Vader, because I guess he's really depressed because he can't get near Luke because Uncle Owen doesn't want him near Luke. And B, he feels dejected. He wants to help people and he can't because he knows the Inquisitors are after him. And also he's trying to reach out to Qui-Gon and he can't. And he's just, it's basically, there's a lot of, I think we discussed this talking earlier. A lot of religious allegories going on here. He's almost Christ-like in a way that he's working as a stonecutter as opposed to a carpenter. He sees the world around him, but he can't do anything until his moment comes. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but that might just be themes throughout life in general. So I think like it's not until that moment where he finally reaches out to Qui-Gon, because he's just so depressed that he cannot find Qui-Gon Jinn. And eventually when he needs him at the most and he's not expecting it, that's when Qui-Gon steps in.
Yeah, I get behind that.
Yeah, I love how this rumor is utilizing Qui-Gon. I think that's a good way for Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon to reconnect.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I hope I'm not spoiling anything for anybody.
Well, I mean, it's all rumor at this point, so
right.
Spoilers be damned.
I mean, that's the line we tread where we're going to start talking about this.
Right.
It's like, could this ruin the episodes when it happens? You're like, okay. But you know what?
Ruin everything.
What kind of popped into my head? I think you mentioned Luke and then Inquisitors in roughly the same sentence, and it's like I don't think this will happen, but like one of the storylines, I believe the Inquisitors were hunting Force-sensitive children. Like,
yeah,
wouldn't that be kind of cool as a way to like pull Luke into it, that they are hunting Luke as well? I don't know, but then does that ruin like the fact that Darth Vader doesn't know his son?
I mean, I've been watching. I know I should be surprised because it was so amazing in the end of the season 2 season finale of The Mandalorian. I was completely blown away. But I've been looking at spoilers or possible spoilers, and I think the story you're going for doesn't happen with Luke. I think it actually happens with Leia.
Ooh, yeah. I'm into that. I'm very into that. 'Cause it's like. Yeah.
And Leia makes more sense because Luke almost has to be unknown to everybody, because otherwise his name is Skywalker on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like that's something that wasn't really thought of when, A New Hope was coming out in 77, was the past. And so Luke almost has to go unnoticed in this whole thing. And the only person that can really acknowledge Luke is Obi-Wan, and obviously Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. But this is going back to that Hollywood Reporter article. I don't know if you saw that, Brock, where they announced that they did an article on how Darth Maul was in the original scripts.
Yeah.
Report this is like 3-year-old news that for some reason is becoming a thing now. The problem I have with that is that ruins like Rebels. The minute you put Darth Maul in Obi-Wan on Tatooine, all of Rebels, like all of the Darth Maul stuff on Rebels is pointless.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Unless they do like a flashback or something, maybe
You
like
could
a
do
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounded like he was like the Vader role of the show
Okay.
originally.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, I love that they threw in Inquisitors. 'Cause I would imagine that draft didn't have Inquisitors or anything in it as well. Because if you're dealing with Maul, why would you deal with Inquisitors? And I think bringing Inquisitors in is amazing because they're fantastic in Rebels, and then I thought they were even more awesome on Fallen Order. The second sister was fantastic. I loved everything with the second sister. She was amazing, looked amazing. They look amazing. They have amazing lightsabers. We've been saying for so long, put them in live action. We're getting them in the live action. That expands that lore so much because as great as Rebels was, only a small portion of the fan base watches animation, right? Just a small group of people watching, not everybody. But now and then video games are huge, but now even more people are going to come to see them on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest complaint I heard is that guy's head. That's
Brock, did you have a problem with
No.
with the circular head? Did you find
No.
did you find he looked too circular? You were like,
No.
I was looking more for an egg. I needed an egg. I know, seriously, people.
Who
are
cares?
well, go watch Batman with Vincent Price.
Excellent.
Hey, good.
Heidi, did you have a problem with his head?
No.
No. And he's a great actor. Also, we should put that out.
Something I found interesting, maybe people already know this. I just found this out, and maybe like fans have known this for a long time. Apparently, the reason why Vader's castle is shaped like that with the 2 points on the head is because he's trying to resurrect Padme. I thought that was quite interesting.
I never heard that. That is interesting.
They're like antennas reaching out to the Force, and he's trying to resurrect Padme.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, that's one thing. Like, I know I've read bits and pieces about his like fortress on Mustafar, but like, it's like I feel like the most I hear about Vader's castle is in like the IDW like Halloween specials that are for like young readers. You know what I mean? Like they love exploring it there, but they don't do it anywhere else. Well, I guess technically it's in Rogue One, but
and even the Lego Halloween special, they love it. Yeah, the children's stuff love Vader's castle live action. Well, apparently one of the fights that happens in this show, guys, is on a moon of Mustafar. It's not even on Mustafar. It's on a moon of Mustafar, which I'm sure is going to be. It's gonna be Mustafar. It's just gonna be ash. It's gonna be made completely out of ash, and that's actually gonna be the ash where Kylo Ren gets that he puts his helmet on. Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Would it be too early for him to hide stuff about Exegol in that? Could we have Vader hiding that? No, is that too early? In Obi-Wan, I mean specifically.
No,
I'm all for pulling the sequels into everything because it's my understanding. I'll be honest with you, the Bad Batch is the only cartoon I really got into. I know some of the story from The Mandalorian, but I keep hearing about how people who originally didn't like the prequels appreciate it more because of the Disney series.
Oh, absolutely.
So I would like for that to come to sequels because I like the sequels. I know not everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I always thought was odd was why would Leia name her son Ben instead of Bail? That never made sense to me. Yeah. But apparently, like I said, I guess there's rumor that Kenobi has to rescue Leia. So they actually do interact. So if that's the case, then that sort of makes more sense to me why she would choose to name him Ben.
Yeah, it made no sense. The real reason is because J.J. Abrams hates the prequels. That's the reason why. But I love that idea that because this show, the rumor is that it's all over Leia on the show. Like that's who he has to protect, and that's perfect way for her to appreciate him and do that. And then it might even add a little bit more to Rogue One, even on top of the sequels. And I'm with you. What the Clone Wars did for the prequels for Brock is what these shows should do for everybody, whether you like them or not, to the sequels. Because we're at a point now where we're not going to get special editions of anything. That's just not going to happen. We got them with the originals. We're not going to get them anymore. So let these series on Disney Plus fill out the gaps and flesh out the stories that they didn't have time to put in to a 2 hour and 15-minute movie.
Exactly.
Right on.
I don't know. I like the sequels, but I almost wish it was a series because I would have liked to have seen the story fleshed out a little bit more. I liked to. I don't get me wrong. I thought Rise of Skywalker was a blast. I thought it was fun, was what it was supposed to be, but I also thought the storyline was rushed, and that was also my problem with the prequels. I felt like the prequels were a little bit rushed too.
I think both cases the prequels is a little bit different, but they both just tied themselves down by it has to be 3 movies and we're done.
Right.
The prequels obviously had to be 3 movies because they were 1, 2, and 3, and 4 had already been made. But the sequels, I still think that they should have just like screw this. They shouldn't have called it the Skywalker Saga. They should have said, you know what, the Skywalker Saga ended with Return of the Jedi. This is the continuation of the story, and it's not, whatever. And then you could just keep going and fleshing out as you go along. And I think that would have served them well. Because who wouldn't go to an episode 10? Right. Even after The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, who would not show up to? If you had a choice, Rogue Squadron or episode 10, which one are you paying $20 to go see tomorrow?
Probably episode 10. Is episode 10 a continuation of 9, or is it something totally new?
Well, I don't know, but it's called episode 10. So, on some level, that's the thing though, is Rogue Squadron on some level has to connect to it anyway. They all have to connect somehow because they're all Star Wars in the same universe, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. That's a trick question because you're like, if a Star Wars movie came out, would you watch it? And the answer is an undeniably yes.
No, but I just mean like it would have only benefited them, not hurt them, to just be like, we're gonna just keep making these episodic films. They didn't need to be like, this is the dramatic conclusion, because the minute you do that, it's like, well, what? We had that like 3 movies ago in Return of the Jedi. Like that is a conclusion.
Right.
And like the way it was going, especially with The Last Jedi, is The Last Jedi felt like it was the ending in a lot of ways, but it also felt like this could go on forever. So just like Rey's still young, Finn's young, Ben is young. They're young. Let them just go. Just use them. Use those characters. They're not doing anything else. Sign them on for a 20-picture deal. Do what the MCU does. Just hire them for like the rest of their lives. Force them to do it, and then let them do the little art film on the side.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you can call it 9.5 if you don't want to call it that.
9.5. It's like the X-Men movies. X-Men 0.2.
Every
2.
movie now
5.
is just 0.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
why not?
Last Jedi felt like 7.5, right? More than an 8. It was like, it was so connected to Force Awakens, which was something we never saw in Star Wars before. It was like, this is the moment right after. You're like, what?
Yeah, that's true. I forget about that.
Like no other Star Wars movie has done it. Remember, the biggest thing before that was Attack of the Clones, the camera panning up after the crawl. Like, but also, actually, we got to bring this up. Praetorian Guards are coming back, Brock. Praetorian Guards are rumored
so what does that mean?
I guess they're Mandalorians. Oh, God.
Andrew Fantasia has entered the chat. Why can't Star Wars be as good as Made in Manhattan? Because Star Wars refuses to cast J-Lo. I love that only Andrew would pull out Made in Manhattan. Praetorian Guards apparently are going to be showing up in Mandalorian Season 3. I am excited about this. And apparently, Brock, there are Mandalorian Guards who are like, how would you describe it? Like variations of the Praetorian Guards. Like their helmets are painted red, like the Praetorian Guards.
Okay.
So I guess they work with them in some capacity. For me, I love that because I'm really curious how that would play into the Snoke Praetorian Guards.
Yeah, because we kind of got this hint that perhaps there was Snoke in a tube on one of the episodes of Mandalorian, but we didn't go far into it. So it's like maybe we're going after that storyline again somehow, and perhaps the Praetorian Guards are protecting. I don't know, but like that would be nice.
A thought just popped into my head. Moff Gideon had the dark saber.
Yeah,
which meant he ruled Mandalore. Maybe he put them together.
Ooh, I could get behind that. Yeah, it's like his own version of the Mandalorian. Right. Interesting. Yeah.
Ooh, like Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he had his own
Right.
version of Death Watch, I guess. Or
Yeah.
I can't. But yeah, like they got to give Moff Gideon more things to do this season. Like you don't get Giancarlo Esposito and just be like, you're gonna do an episode and you're gonna say a couple pithy things and then you're gone. Okay, bye. Like he's a good actor.
I think he is in this one. It sounds like he's going to be in this one more. What that means, I don't know, because he's in prison.
Yeah.
We learned that in Book of Boba Fett that he is in
Yeah.
prison right now. So something's going to happen with him. I think something's going to shift, and it could be this whole journey that the Mandalorian is on, that he gets sent on, and the Darksaber. He might need Gideon. He actually might need Gideon's knowledge to get what he needs. So, can you imagine if the Mando has to break Moff Gideon out of their Republic the prison, and that's a plot line. This is gonna be wild. Brock, have you heard about IG-11? I'm just going all over the place because I'm excited about Star Wars. Apparently, IG-11 showed up.
Okay, so then what does that mean?
Heidi's all in on this. So apparently, IG-11 is like dead by the time we meet him or something, and he's just parts. And the Jawas get all of his parts together and they rebuild IG-11. And get this, his purpose on the show is going to be basically to be a suit for Grogu. So instead of Grogu being in that egg, he's going to be in the body of IG-11. And it's going to be like the Hulk. They're comparing it to the Hulk Buster. And he can talk to IG-11 like Tony Stark talks to Jarvis.
No, it's a pass for me, dog. IG-11 bringing back Taika Waititi. Like, you're never gonna lose. He's got some new show where he's Blackbeard, and I haven't watched yet, but like,
that's IG-88.
No, IG-11. IG-11's in Mandalorian season 1.
Which is the which?
IG-88 is in Empire Strikes Back.
I heard it's the one from Empire Strikes Back.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go to
I'm
the internet.
So confused right now.
I got IG-11 is Taika Waititi, no?
That's what I thought.
IG-88 is what's in.
I don't know.
IG-11 is in Mandalorian. So anyway, IG-11 is coming back. He got blown up.
Okay, so it is 11 or it's 88. Either one is good. 11 we just know a little bit more about.
You know what? I don't even know anymore. I thought it was 11. I thought it was 11, and then someone told me it was one from Empire, just like Heidi. So I don't know. Everyone's getting their numbers. Everyone is a fake fan.
Up until now, Heidi, what did you know it to be?
I heard it was the one from Empire Strikes Back. Okay. He was just parts because IG-11 is a statue that Carl Weathers.
Yeah, and he got melted. In that lava.
He made him and he made him into a statue to honor him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So unless the Jawas, I don't know, ripped them off of Carl Weathers, I don't know. I heard it was the one from. I don't know. I could be wrong, but apparently Grogu is going to be Voltron now. Which maybe help him wield the Darksaber. I don't know.
Okay, I can get behind that, I suppose. I don't know.
You might have to get behind it because that might be what it might be what we get. You might not have a choice.
I don't know. Like I feel. I mean, stop me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've done anything incorrect with this character. As much as more and more they put Grogu in things, like everything they've done with this character is like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's like. We're going to put it in a... Like, if you're going to do that, why IG-11? Put it in a Death Trooper or Dark Trooper. What are the stormtroopers?
So IG-11 made sense to me more than IG-88 because IG-11 made sense to me because that droid has a connection to Grogu. That droid was programmed by... By Quill to be his nanny. So... But also, he's a statue. He got blown up. Like, there's just so much that happened to him. But now the Jawas put him together. So are they retconning what they did just a year ago?
I don't know. I just heard that was going to be his new Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard as well. Which, whatever. Like, I'm at a point, guys, and I don't want to anyone to hate me here, but I'm worried. I am concerned about the overuse of Grogu. because he when they were writing Force Awakens, like every time Luke Skywalker came on screen, he just took everything. It was all about him. He was the center of attention. We could, all the focus was on Luke. It took away from the new characters, which I think is ridiculous. But Grogu, every time Grogu comes on the screen, he takes away from Grogu demands your attention. And are we going to get to a point where he's going to be overplayed and we're going to be like, it's Grogu? Like you said last week, Brock, he can't be Teen Grogu. Teen Grogu, like Teen Groot, that's not something anybody cares about. We like Baby Groot and Baby Yoda. Don't give us the teen version because teenagers are the worst. So, let's move on. But at what point do they overuse them, and how do they avoid that?
Sorry, say that one more time.
How do they avoid overusing Grogu?
Well, maybe that's why they put him in the suit.
I think you don't change what Grogu is so far. You know what I mean? And put him in a suit could be done right or wrong. It could be a jump shark thing, right? It's or not even jump the shark. It's like that point in your series where you have run out of ideas, so you start marrying off your characters, and they have babies that are there for certain plot devices. It's Rachel gets pregnant in Friends and has a baby, and then there are times where that baby does not exist in the episode. So my concern of you've done pretty well. Everything you've done with Grogu is perfect. I'd argue, what have they done wrong? What have they done wrong at this point? So just keep it, and it's moving. It seems to be moving. It's not like they're oh, let's just drop Grogu in this. Outside of him showing up on Tatooine in Boba Fett, that's probably the closest thing that we're oh, okay, cool. It's that wasn't anything wrong with Grogu. That was we have a story that we don't really know what to do, so we dropped our OP character in that can just solve the problem. But I would argue though, it was genius because now season 3 of Mandalorian, we don't have to waste any time with where is Grogu and where is Mando. So that's just me.
I mean, I've watched reaction videos and even in different languages, even though I don't understand what people are saying, I know what they're saying when they're watching these scenes, and I see grown men cry.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
time Grogu's on screens.
So it's I feel the next big step would be to introduce some kind of way that he gets older or starts talking. That is the next thing. Do they need to do that? I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't want him to. I don't want him to talk. I want him to be adorable. It's they're talking about maybe doing 10, 11, 12, and I don't want him showing up in that because he's gonna talk.
Yeah. And they I don't even think they know what he's gonna sound like, because if in Book of Boba Fett, Luke asks him he basically says, "Do you talk the same way Yoda does?" without saying, "Do you talk the same way Yoda does?" So no one knows what he's going to sound like, because the only other character of that species was Yaddle, who was in a shot, never said a line. So we don't know if that's how those creatures talk, those species, or if that's just Frank Oz being Frank Oz. We don't know enough about it, and I don't think they do. And I think that's, one of the things was George Lucas was we never know what species Yoda is. I hope we also never know the way Yoda species talks. I think eventually we're going to have to, but I hope we never find out.
I mean, if you think about it, the Grogu's usually in a bag or something. He's not on screen all the time.
That's true.
In fact, there's been times where he's been left behind before. The episode, where he gets left at the school and steals the kids' macaroons when they go.
And they go do a thing.
He doesn't. I mean, it's not the Grogu show. I mean, it might be the Grogu show. That's a theory I have, but I don't think that if that's the case, it's not going to be revealed to the series finale. To be honest with you,
I think I agree with you though, Heidi. Don't have Grogu age or talk, or there's 2 more seasons, right? That could all be in sequential. So maybe the space of 2 to 3 years have passed in once we finish this series. Hold the talking older Grogu for a future project where you're let's wow him. Like, let's wait 10 years and then he's a little bit older.
Mhm.
He's a little bit like he can hold up or whatever. I mean, have we found anyone that can really stop this kid? You know, I mean, like, he's tired, but he stopped a Rancor. So it's like, when given the chance, no one could, like, I think it's deceptive because we're like, he's a baby. So it's like, but this baby has done crazy things.
I think the genius thing with him being a baby too, and being 50 and being a baby, is this. I said this to Heidi before, but you can now make him have his own storyline while the sequel trilogy is going on. Yeah. That can coexist with the sequel trilogy and not affect it one way or another. Right. Like, it could be another part of the galaxy, and he can be there doing that. And I think that's brilliant because we're going to need that because, you know, Star Wars is going to have to keep going, and we're going to have to eventually part ways with the Skywalker saga. And I think that's a great way to do it, is follow Grogu and until Din Djarin dies, which when Din Djarin dies, that's going to make Baby Yoda Grogu turn to the dark side. Wah, wah,
sure.
wah, wah, wah. Ba, 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 ba.
I'm still holding out that, like, whatever species Yoda and Grogu and Yaddle are, like, we're gonna learn that they are, like, so attuned to the Force that no one else, like maybe Bendu-esque level kind of connection to the Force. I am still holding on to that. Like, as much as he doesn't talk, he has full faculties. We just can't hear him. It's like how, you know, dogs hear certain sounds, but we can't. Like, it's that. Like, he's talking through the Force. I don't know. I'm hoping for that.
Well, I was wondering, and I know I'm going off topic here, but with with Obi-Wan and Inquisitors coming up, I think somebody said that, like Kylo Ren gave Luke's students the opportunity to become Knights of Ren instead of killing them, I think maybe Anakin gave the younglings the same opportunity. So I'm wondering if he gave the same opportunity to Grogu. Grogu decided to go along, be trained to be an Inquisitor, which may explain how he learned a Force choke, but then he might have had a Finn moment, and that's when he cut himself off. So maybe he feels guilty.
I can get behind that. Like,
I know. I have
really, like, there's, like, what exactly happens between Order 66 and being found by Din Djarin? Like, what is that in between? I think there's a very interesting, if not one episode, maybe a couple episodes, just explaining that. Like, that'd be fantastic.
I like that idea. I also think sometimes, I mean, I would watch it, obviously, and it would probably be done amazingly, but I think maybe less is more sometimes, too. But I love, I say that, and then when we got that flashback with the clones and the Jedi coming in, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Let's get more of it. So I'm very hypocritical on my feelings unless there's more, because sometimes when you give me more, I enjoy it. It is a fine line, though, and I think until you figured it out, do it. I think the great thing is it's a puppet. So that puppet will not age over time unless it's the Yoda puppet, which, kind of looks weird but in 20 years later when we get to Phantom Menace. But, like, the puppet's not going to age. So you have that thing to, when you figure out that story completely, then get to it. You don't have to rush to it because, the baby's going to be older. So at least that's there.
Also, he can't make demands and walk off set if he doesn't get his way.
He's got punched by Jason Sudeikis. So, you have that. You guys want to go to the odds?
Let's do it.
Oh, Andrew's here?
All right.
Boo.
Sorry.
The probability of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
All right, there's a flash of Quill because I'm a huge Quill fan.
Never tell me the odds. Brought to you and me by all of our friends at patreon.com. If you'd like to support us, go on down to patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast and just support us because we're trying our best. We're trying to deliver all the Star Wars news. I show up and say, what happened? And James says this. So if you like that and you want to support us, go on down to the website there and be one of the wonderful few that we talk about every episode. And now speak with in person. Heidi Fetter, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Staniforth, Scott G, Josh Price, Matt W.
Rez, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Girls with Sabers, and the
Boom. Thank you to
By the way,
all.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Also, Brock, gotta point this out. Nick Santos from the Hashtag Show. You guys know the Hashtag Show? Big, Hashtag Show is in the know. Like if there's somebody in the know, the Hashtag Show knows. They break a lot of They break a lot of movie news, like Marvel, DC, Star Wars. And Nick Santos on Twitter said that tomorrow he's got some big news dropping, and he put a GIF of Rey igniting her lightsaber from the Rise of Skywalker. So possible big Star Wars news dropping tomorrow. Just wanted to say that. That has nothing to do with the odds. I just wanted to say that.
I just want to add. I love Andrew.
Andrew, go home. He's not even watching anymore. We didn't talk enough about Made in Manhattan. He's gone.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you by Patreon. Patreon link on the screen down below. We're joined with executive producer Heidi Fetter. Guys, Brock, I'll start with you on this one. Never Tell Me the Odds. We will see a Night Sister in live action. We're going to see a Night Sister, more specifically in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Whatever, live action. By the end of this year. How about that? By December 31st. Okay,
seriously,
by the end of Mando season 3.
After Fallen Order, with the inclusion of that character of the last Night Sister, if you want to call her that, I'm like, yeah, that would be very cool to bring that whole group back in. But in the foreseeable future, I don't know. I'm gonna go 40%. Like, I just trying to be realistic, but it'd be cool.
Realistic? That's not what we do here. I'm gonna go 41%, just a touch above you. So if it does happen, I'll be like, well, at least I was more right than you. Heidi, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 60.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I like that.
The future of Star Wars right now just seems to be centered around the Mandalorians. So it's like, I mean, you could probably work away with having them in there, but like, there doesn't seem to be any desire to work on Jedis, and I feel like the Night Sisters work better with Jedis than Mandalorians. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. No, I would like to see. I mean, Obi-Wan's a Jedi. We'll see. They got name dropped in Boba Fett. They're in Fallen Order.
That's right.
They're becoming they're becoming a piece of Star Wars lore for the mass audiences, and I don't think it's going to happen like you, Brock, but I am optimistic. I want to see it. I believe it can, and I just think the further away from Luke Skywalker you want to get, the more of this stuff that you've got to bring into it to get us further away from that.
Let me put it this way. After Luke Skywalker showed up at the end of Mandalorian, I've come to the conclusion that there's nothing they can do to surprise me, but they can amaze me.
Nice.
That's true. Next one. Never Tell Me the Odds. IG-11 will show up. Is that true? We're gonna get some IG. Look, I'm gonna say IG-11, but you can see it could be the Empire Strikes Back. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
That droid-looking thing, whichever one it is going to show up in Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're gonna say Obi-Wan Kenobi for this time. No, sorry. In Mandalorian season 3. IG whatever. No, this is IG-11 in anyway. Whatever. Is it gonna show up again? Are we gonna see it again, Heidi?
I mean, from what I heard, I'm gonna say 99.9% just from what's being said. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Brock?
I mean, it's Taika Waititi doing the voice. You'd be stupid not to have him on your project. Period. End of sentence. So, will he show up? like nobody stays dead anymore, so I'm gonna say 75%.
Yeah.
Why not? He's a droid. It's very easy to bring a droid back.
I'm going with 80% as high as well because no one's dead in Star Wars ever. And if you can bring him back, everyone loved him. And he has a connection with Grogu. And if it's the one from Empire Strikes Back, sure. I mean, that was supposed to be the one from Empire Strikes Back. And Filoni was like, nah, we just don't want to mess with people's headcanon for their legend stuff.
Right.
Which is fine. And our final odd today, by the way, there's something else going on where people are surprised. This is what's weird is like we forget things so quickly. Like now people are surprised that Andor might be coming in like August. But I don't know if you guys remember, they announced like 6 months ago that Andor was coming out in Q2. How is this like? Where are people anyway? But this is huge news now. This and the Filoni thing are huge news. But this is all stuff that's happened 2 years ago. Anyway, my head is hurting, guys. It's the Guinness though. I'm not a big Guinness. It's like flat. I don't know. It's like I don't know. And that final line, will Obi-Wan appear in Cassian Andor? Will Obi-Wan appear in the Andor show? I'm going to go full Brock on this one. Full Brock from me. Because, look, I think it's, you tie these things in together. Why the heck not? I don't know how. It's got to be subtle, but why not? I'd also really appreciate if Alden Ehrenreich showed up as Han Solo in that, but that probably won't happen. Brock, what do you think?
I think that would be a great idea. I'm gonna go 40% though. I don't know. It's hard to make that call till we know what Obi-Wan is about. You know what I mean? Like we see Obi-Wan in this trailer and he's dejected and destroyed. So it's like, obviously the show's gonna be about him trying to find his meaning after the Jedi Order is gone and evil won. Like, what do you do? So, that could lead to him wanting to be part of the rebellion, but, because, isn't that what Cassian's going to be all about? Just, an espionage show dealing with the growth of the rebellion? That would be great to drop an Obi-Wan in there somehow.
Yeah, Heidi?
I'm going to go 25%. It depends. Since Andor wasn't in Rogue One, the only thing I think that may possibility is if they're going to do the same Rogue One route, because Rogue One was just full of Easter eggs, up to last minute of A New Hope. The two scoundrels from the guy who got his arm chopped off and I forget their names and threatened Luke at the cantina. They just showed up out of nowhere. R2-D2 and C-3PO just showed up out of nowhere, and then Bail Organa shows up out of nowhere and says, "Yeah, I gotta go back to Alderaan real quick," which is funny because when I saw that with my sister and her husband, my sister's husband, to be a jerk, just yelled out "No!" But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't really see it happening, but the only reason why I might see it happening, give it 25%, is, again, because I think Rogue One was just pretty much Easter eggs, to be honest with you. Even though I think it's an excellent movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, that's fair. I love them, too, as well. All right, let us know what your odds are in the comments below. Andrew just said 70% and 5%. I don't know where he is on this stream. He's probably not even watching live. He's probably 10 minutes behind. So when we get another percentage, we'll have all three of his. Let's move on to top 5. It's top 5 villains that are not Sith. No Sith. No Sith.
No Sith.
My number 5 is Jabba the Hutt, guys, because Jabba the Hutt is the greatest thing to happen to Star Wars. He is a slug, and he is awesome, and he's amazing. Number 5, Jabba the Hutt. Brock?
My number 5 is going to be Agent Tarek from the Poe Dameron series. Straight up, that could be a character they could bring into live action. Would be really, really interesting. A crazy, Imperial that's I'll do whatever it takes, even if you fire me. So, yeah.
Awesome. Heidi?
Well, I had trouble with this list. Originally my number 5 was going to be either Jango or Boba, but Boba kind of did a...
Yeah.
I changed it, though, but Boba made pretty much... is more of an anti-hero now, so I actually went with his brother. I went with What did I write down? Crosshair.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a nice one.
He is a villain. Straight up, like, so good.
Yeah, my number 4 is Jango Fett. I think my list might be not as good as yours. I'm going with Jango. Like, I love Jango. I just wanted to put Jango on the list. So take that, Brock.
My number 4 is going to be another deep pull, Marshawn Rowe from the High Republic series. Straight up, like, yeah, Agent Tarek's cool. Martian Rowe, like, this is a good villain. Booyah.
Andrew is sucking up to executive producer Heidi right now. Crosshair is a great pick. Heidi, your number 4? Also Crosshair.
I'm going to go with Cad Bane.
Nice.
The one who trained Boba Fett.
I love Cad Bane in the Boba Fett show. I don't even care. I thought he was perfect in that. And my number 3 is General Grievous. I'm just loading up with prequels. I love General Grievous. I think he's great. The one thing with Grievous that's amazing is it's been 15, 17 years, and he still looks incredible. Like, visually still holds, I would say. So that's my number 3 is Grievous. Brock?
My number 3 is Heidi's. Number 4, I believe, Cad Bane. Like, it's crazy. Like, live action to real life. It's like, ooh, yeah. And it's a bummer that, like, he had to be done at the end of that series. But, like, that 2 episodes, like, the 2 episodes with Cad Bane in Book of Boba Fett is just like, wow.
Absolutely. I think he needed to die, though. I think that was the right for the story. Heidi?
Well, maybe people are going to argue with me. I really didn't watch Rebels or Clone Wars. Just some scenes I've seen, so maybe some people would put him higher. I kept going back and forth with this person between my 2 and 3, but I'm going with Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, I forgot about Thrawn.
Damn, that's a good one. I don't have Thrawn either. Thrawn's gonna, you know what, Thrawn, I'm not disagreeing with you, Heidi, on it, but Thrawn could potentially be like the big bad by the end of all these live action shows. If they're doing what we all think they might be doing based on what Ahsoka says and all that. So yeah, Thrawn is a great. I'm not into the Star Wars lore, guys. I'm very like surface level Star Wars fan. So my list is like Jabba the Hutt. I didn't put Masameda on it, but I probably should have. My number 2 is the second sister from Fallen Order. I wanted to put like just all of the Inquisitors, but I went with that one because that's my favorite one at this moment. After this show, though, it could be Grand. It could be Reva, who is the 3rd sister, I believe. I was like the 7th sister and the 5th brother. I'm very excited to see the 5th brother in the show, although I heard it's just like for a small role, which makes sense.
Like the dumbest names they've ever thought of.
They were just so lazy. They're like,
and then there was a thing called the Jizz Whaler at one point. Like,
yeah.
Well,
as much as I love the Inquisitors, like those names are so impossible to remember.
Well, it's just like you put a number and then either brother or sister, and you're good.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, the head of Honcho is just the Grand Inquisitor. He's like, I went through every number you could think of, and now I'm Grand. Brock, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is going to be Krennic from Rogue One because I could have seen more of him, and of course, Ben Mendelsohn's like a fantastic actor, so it's like, oh.
No, that's true. More Krennic, the better. Heidi, your number 2.
The reason I went with number 2 is because of him blowing up Leia's home right in front of her. I'm going with Tarkin.
Nice. I was actually thinking Tarkin when Brock said Krennic. It's almost like, ooh. It's like, they're right on there. Tarkin's a good pick. Also not on my list because I'm surface level. My number 1 though, Praetorian Guards. Specifically Praetorian Guard A. That's his name. Praetorian Guards, like the Inquisitors, Their names are Praetorian Guard, and then a letter of the alphabet comes next. And my favorite was Praetorian Guard A. I'm not a big fan of Praetorian Guard C, but B and D are phenomenal guards. I'm really big on them. Brock, what's your number one?
Once again, I'm on the coattails of Heidi. My number one is Tarkin, because I was like, mostly because of like what you see of him in Clone Wars. Like, obviously, he's still a great villain in the original, but like the actual, and sorry, in Rogue One too. Sorry, please, like we're getting more and more where it's just like, man, you were just evil. Like Krennic is evil, but it's more of like he just wants to control. Tarkin just immediately assumes he controls everything and doesn't care. It's like, well, we're getting results. It's like he's almost more evil than Vader or Palpatine, because it's like at least they're like, we're evil because we can control things with our mind. This is just a dude that's like, I will burn everything. I'm like, so.
Tarkin's a character, like growing up, I had no care or interest in, and then as an adult, you're like, oh, he's the bad guy of that movie. It's Tarkin's the bad guy. But as a kid, it's Vader, right? You don't even think of Tarkin. But then when you start to pay attention, like, oh no, Tarkin's the big bad. Heidi, what's your number one?
My number one is Star Wars Holiday Special head writer Bruce Vilanch. No. No.
Oh, fantastic.
No, my number one is the villain you love to hate because he's evil and he loves being evil, Moff Gideon.
Moff. He was almost on my list, and then he got pushed off by Jabba. Gideon's awesome.
Yeah, like they create all these like Imperial villains that do not get enough time on screen. It's like I hope they give Moff Gideon more time.
Yeah, I mean, with with Cara Dune not coming back, I'm wondering if like he's gonna like escape and kill her off screen or something, and then you're like, oh, Moff Gideon escaped, or
yeah. I mean, I think we're not seeing the end of Moff Gideon and his schemes for sure. Like you don't get Giancarlo Esposito actor in there and not like use him to a full extent. So yeah, awesome choices.
I was glad he didn't get killed off in the end of season 2.
I mean, I will say this: as bad a person as Tarkin was, you never saw Tarkin give someone an evil smile and taunt them.
yeah. Nice.
Sure. Gideon's great. I hope he does get more screen time in Mando season 3, and we get to see that character expanded on and utilized a little bit more. Because also, Giancarlo Esposito is a great actor as well. All right, episode 246 in the books, guys. 246. 246. That is a lot of freaking episodes, by the way. I told my friend Sheldon, I sent him a link to one of them. He goes, what, 200 and something? I was like, yeah. He goes, wow. I'm like, yeah, thanks for caring.
Yeah.
He's going to Star Wars Celebration. We will not be there. Heidi forgot about it.
Yeah. I have tickets and I totally forgot. I'm like, I don't think you can sell them.
You can, but we won't talk about that on camera because I don't think you can. But Star Wars Celebration is coming up. There's going to be apparently a lot of things are going to be released that weekend. We'll look at it. It's going to be a good time. Brock and I, we're just not able to go. It's just such an awkward time for many, many reasons. But tickets went on sale, and I think the Saturday one sold out quick. The 4-day one sold out in minutes, but I think that was already mostly sold out anyway.
Yeah,
so they sold that out, and then the Saturday one sold out in a couple of hours. And I don't know what else is going on. I haven't seen updates other than that, but I don't know. Hopefully everyone that goes has a good time. It sounds like it's going to be very safe. They're making you be vaccinated. They're making you wear masks and having proof of all that stuff. So should be a good time at Celebration. That Brock and I will not be there. All right, Heidi, plug your book.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote a new book, and this time I use my real name. You get on Amazon.com. It's called His Enchanted Swan, and it's takes place in modern day Boston, and it coincides with Swan Lake.
Oh, cool.
Oh, gonna check. That's on Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check that out on Amazon. We'll put the link in the description once I get off of this.
Okay.
Link in the description. Check it out, Brock. Where can everybody find you? Right here. Are you watching Encanto?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I'm watching Canto like 10 times. Do we talk about Bruno?
I've never
No,
seen
we
Encanto.
don't. We
I've
do
never
not.
seen Encanto.
We do not.
Wait.
We do not.
Side Akbar. Heidi, have you seen Encanto?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, neither have I. Brock, are the songs better than Let It Go? Are they better than Let It Go? Because they're topping the charts better than Let It Go. Are they better? I need an honest answer.
I don't know. It's like the same thing, right? Like I don't know. It's not the same thing. The story is totally different. I like Encanto more than Frozen, but
I like Tangled more than Frozen. So there you go. I like Olaf better than everything, though. Olaf is the best. Can we just Olaf is the best?
But like, really, like, what's the difference? It's just like if one song makes, we wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't making record numbers. So it's like there's always it's a Disney movie with music in it. Of course, like kids are gonna love it. Like my nieces are crazy for it. They know all the words, so that's who it's for.
I don't have any kids, like young kids around me, so I've never heard that song. Like I've somehow avoided that song, but I feel like Let It Go you couldn't avoid. You know what I mean? Like, although at the time, no, it's different because my nieces were younger.
They were the age, not the price.
They were the age, yeah. So no, that's not fair. Yeah, no, because I haven't seen Encanto. I actually want to. I just haven't. But I heard Turning Red is really good, so maybe you can get them.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Apparently, it takes place in like early 2000s though, so they might be turned off by that. They're like, oh, this is not.
Yeah, but like Frozen takes place in like Denmark, and there's Christmas every time, and Encanto is in Colombia in the mountains. Like, it doesn't really matter where it is or what. Like, no, people understand.
I'm just joking. All right. Anyway, that is episode 246 of the Encanto cast. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like and subscribe, and let us know if you think Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be the worst thing that happens to Star Wars since the book of Boba Fett. Heidi, thank you so much for joining us. Grab her book. Andrew Fantasia says that Turning Red is awesome, but what does he know? Because much like Andrew, Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel scum.
Scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.